Yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. Yeah, this is how it's supposed to be.
What's good, everybody? 18 Mile Mellow here, bringing you a long-awaited video. So over the year and a half, 2 years that I've been doing this, I've been getting some compliments and questions about my quality, about how I set up my videos, and this and that. So I figured, you know what, why not a better opportunity to finally do this? Plus, besides, I got a lot of new recruits, and you know they're asking questions about settings, and also for some, maybe you've been uploading videos for a while and you just wanted to try something new. This is just, you know, what I do. So a few things that I talk about, I'm gonna explain as if you are a beginner. And for you advanced folks, you know, you might learn a thing or two, and if you do, you know, I hope you use it to, you know, enhance your product in your videos. So first, I'm going to start off my equipment that I use. I have the original HD PVR. I've had it for almost 2 years now. If you're listening to this and you haven't bought anything yet, and you're like thinking, you know, what should I do? What should I get? If you have the PC for it, honestly, I would recommend Elgato, simply because of its rewind feature, and it has, I think pretty sure it has built-in streaming with some kind of system, program built into Twitch. So that's actually probably the best if you have the computer for it. If not, HD PVR is a solid equipment. Other than that, as far as like best quality, like I said again, that would be the Elgato or the BMI, Blackmagic Intensity, but I'd say the Elgato. If you don't have the computer for the Elgato, then the HD PVR or the AverMedia HD. Those are all put out, you know, definitely quality videos. But like I said, I have HD PVR. So for me, I know that the best quality that HD PVR is going to put out is 1080i. So I already have my settings, HD 1080i. So that's the very first step. You know what your equipment can do, and make sure it's on the best possible settings. So that's that. Next thing, moving on, what we're gonna do here is go to format settings. Now, constant bitrate is what you always want. Make sure it's constant bitrate. Put it on the highest, best possible quality. So that's basically going to produce videos that are 1920 by 1080i at 30 frames a second. Now, if you have an HD PVR, there is a way that you can still record, you know, with 480p, or like if you have an older TV. I had a brief period when I was actually recording with an older TV, so it is still possible. But just a heads up, if you do, make sure you hit this two buttons right here, the 16 by 9. Basically, that's going to eliminate the big ugly black bars on the side. Like, you'll still have slight bars like this, but when it's not in like HD widescreen formats, it's like way bigger. And I'm sure you guys have seen people like that. So make sure you definitely do that. That's first and foremost. And then, of course, anytime you change any settings in this format settings, you'll always have to end up refreshing or unplugging the PVR and plugging it back in so it'll reset. So that's step one. Next, by default, the saturation is pretty low, and that basically means your videos aren't gonna have much color, and everything else is okay. But for the most part, I really didn't touch anything else but saturation. I just like more color, and that's just me. I like my videos to be very vibrant. A lot of greens, you know, grass, a lot of reds. You know, especially I play, you know, Gears of War, so when you get those gibs and that blood's just all over the screen, and it's, you know, it's nothing like it. So that's, you know, that's what I do. So I really bump my saturation up the most. And why did I just get kicked off alive? Okay. Anyways, I bumped my saturation up to the most, which is about 150. And then, to be honest, I know some people are like, well, hey, don't you edit? Can't you add color and stuff when you edit? Yes, you can, but when it's already on by default, using less editing effects is actually going to shorten your render time and kind of shorten the file size too. So that's why I recommend doing it in this versus in the editing. But when we get to that, I'll show what I do for that too. as well. So that's pretty much it. After you've after you've settled on what you want, at what you like, I don't really fight moving this because I don't want to mess it up. But this is what I have, and that's what I use. So that's that. Now, a while ago, I had a video posted up about the Xbox setting versus PS3 setting and all of that. But they ended up putting out updates for the the software in Vegas and all that, so you can actually use whichever one you want. I personally prefer MP4. I have never really had any problems with anything, except for that one time, but they got the bugs out, so it's all good. So I recorded in MP4. The other options are MPTS and TS. I've used to do this one, but all file sizes end up being the same anyway. There's really no one you should prefer over the other. So I personally just stick with MP4. So that's that. That's basically the basics right there, which is, again, knowing what kind of picture your hardware, the maximum capabilities, and then basic settings. So after you finally got your recording and you're ready to edit and put it into Vegas, I'm just gonna grab a random recording off of here. Shit, my thing's not plugged in. Fuck. Okay, hold on a second, guys. Gotta unplug my mouse. Okay, there we go. Alright, so after you finally get your recording and you figure out what you're gonna use and all that, you go to your okay. Alright, so you go to your recordings. These are all this is where I keep all my stuff. This is the external hard drive I made. Now I'm just gonna grab just this random one. This is the most recent one from last night. Now I'm using Sony Vegas 12. Most of these settings will still work for Sony Vegas 11 and lower, but the best thing about Sony Vegas 12 is this feature right here. As soon as you drag something into the timeline, it's going to pop this up right here. Do you want to set your project video settings to match this media? Yes. Usually I don't click this because depending on what I'm putting in first, I don't want it to be based off of that. I want it to be based off of the video. So that's why I don't check that. But yes, I always drag in my video first and let my project settings be based off of the video. As you can see, 1920 by 1080. Pretty much everything here is basically exactly as it is from this default raw file right here. Now the first thing you want to do is uncheck this. I swear I always turn this off and start all new projects with this off, but that thing right here, and again this is only in Vegas 12, it adds so much more color. It's just like it's unnecessary. It's ridiculous. But I take that off, and this is basically what what the game normally looks like. And the first thing you want to do, as soon as you drag it in to the timeline, you want to go to properties and you want to disable resample. Disable resample means that when the character moves, it's not going to be like laggy, like there's a motion blur. So you want to do that every time you drag something into your timeline. Always disable resample. If you don't, like I said, you're gonna have that delay, that motion blur, and it's just gonna throw you off. Now, I'm not really gonna do much other editing on this. What else do I want to grab on here? Throw my intro in there. Do that. Oops. Okay, throw my intro in there. Again, disable resample. Move it all close. Okay. All right. So let's say we're ready to render. We're done. Oh wait, no. My fault. I skipped some stuff. All right. So as far as the video effects that I sometimes use. Now, as far as color, again. What I used to do was I used to add I used to do brightness or brighter, more contrast. So depending on depending on what map I play on, I do add that sometimes. I mean, of course you can adjust it, but right now I'm not going to do anything to that. Like I said, you guys can kind of play with that, but But here lately, if I want to do anything, all I really do is I go down to color correction secondary, and I'll add boost mids. That'll make the colors pop a little bit more. As you can see, that's really a lot better. So if you were to look at this versus regular default HD PVR regular settings, this looks so much better in the end product. And especially after you disabled resample, you copied pretty much all the settings as is. A lot of people have problems with Vegas. They say Vegas messes up my videos. Well, it messes it up when you have fucked up settings, and most of these settings are taken exactly from the video, so you're not gonna have any distortion, any fucking like white lines or those little small lines that people see sometimes. If you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, I mean this is pretty much the raw file, and all I really did was add my intro and add a little bit of color. If you have any questions about other things I do, like I know sometimes I use those memes that pop up in the little corner, or text overlay. I could always do something else for that, if you ever have any questions or want to see how I do that. But this is just really basic because I still got some more things I wanted to cover. So let's say you're all done, you're all ready to produce this video. Now I already have my defaults, but I'm just going to open up this one right here so you can see it. Again, 1920 by 1080, main frame rate, which is pretty much the highest it can go, which is 29.7 or 29.97. This really does. I mean, this is pretty much it. You want to. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention: the bit rate. You always want to keep your as close as you can. And this is a drop down, so you really can't select. As you can remember, I was using 13.5, which turns out to 13,500 or 13,500,000. So the closest thing to that is actually 14 million. So that's why I picked them at 14 million. And make sure you definitely click this one, very constant, not variable, because if you don't, it's gonna be weird. All of this stuff you really don't need to touch. First my audio. Here's my audio bitrate, beats per second. I mean, I do the 192, which gives you a good audio quality, and a pretty decent sample rate. I don't want to go too high, but these are my settings, in case you ever wanted to know. So you need to hit OK, and of course render. I'm just going to cancel this out because I'm not making this video. So that's that. So that's covered the HD PVR settings. I covered the Windows or Vegas. What the fuck am I saying? Windows. Covered the Vegas settings. Not going to save that. And then the last thing I was just going to show you guys is Twitch. I have a pretty good stream. My stream quality is pretty good, so I'm going to show you that real quick as soon as this loads up. And this is free, by the way. XSplit is a free program. There is a premium option. I may get it in the future because it actually, you get like a much better audio quality when you buy it. When you're using the free version, as you can see, you only get limited stuff. Full 1080p HD, 60 frames a second, high quality. But I ain't got time for that right now. So all right. Anyways, of course, as you know, you add your screen region and all that bullshit. But I'm not gonna fuck with that right now. Basically, you're just here for the settings. So beginning off here, resolution. I personally stream in 480p. My upload speed is only about 5 megabytes per second. Wait, is that right? 5 megabytes. You know what I'm talking about. Mine is my connection is 30 down, 5 up. So with a 5 upload speed, you pretty much, you could do 720, maybe, like barely. I'd really, honestly, what I did when I first got upgraded my internet, I was like, I'd rather have a very, very good 480p stream than a shitty 720p stream, because you remember, you got to still give you some bandwidth for your Xbox, so it can't all go to the stream, because you still got to be able to play, and it won't be lagging, you won't be lagging, the stream won't be lagging. So I opted for the best 480p stream than the worst 720p stream. So you click 480p, frame rate, you can't go any higher than 25. Because, again, I'm on free. If I was paying for it, of course, I'd be on 29.97 or 30. and all this other shit doesn't really matter. Next, you want to go over to your edit settings, and again, this is only a tutorial for settings. If you need help setting all of this up initially, there's plenty of videos out there, and like I said, I could always do one if you really need me to do a step-by-step walkthrough. So again, after you enter all your shit, first thing you want to do is select a server that's closest to you, that puts out the lowest amount of I forget what this is, the milliseconds. I forget what this word is, but you want to pick out the one that has the least amount of numbers, and that's green. So for me, that's going to be Ashburn, Florida secondary. And codec, you can't really change this. Now the bitrate, this is what you input. Like I said, this is what's going to take away from your connection and your Xbox too. So you got to pick a number that's like not too high, but not too low. Because if it's too low, your stream's going to look like shit. If it's too high, then you're going to be like taking you away from your Xbox. You're going to be lagging. So I don't remember what exactly 5 megabytes breaks down to into kilobytes, but I put in 3,000 and it kind of works for me. So if you have about a 5 upload speed and the only things you have running on your internet, or maybe a laptop, Xbox, and or laptop and Xbox, 3,000 will work for you. You won't lag and your stream will look fine. Mode, honestly, I don't know. They recently updated it, and I never messed with it, so I don't touch that. Quality 10, that's the highest quality. Preset very fast, again, that's 3,000. Codec, I don't mess with that. I just leave it on speak. And bitrate, highest bitrate there is. And again, the format audio, we don't really have any options. And then then right here, you can automatically save your recordings in the local drive, but I don't do it off of Twitch because it puts it in some weird format, and then you have to what is that word I'm looking for? Transfer? No. Convert it. Yeah. Then you have to convert the file, and like I said, one thing about when you're changing file types and changing files, if you don't mess with the settings, you're gonna look good. And I don't want to have to convert a video just to go back and do all the stuff I do in Vegas. So I don't do it off of that. I just basically download it off of Twitch, or have it upload directly to YouTube. I mean, from Twitch. And like I said, that's a video for another day if you need help with that. But that's pretty much it, man. That's what I do for my PVR settings, for my Vegas settings, and my stream settings. So that's pretty much it. And then once you're happy with everything, you hit OK and broadcast, and you're good to go. But that's pretty much it, man. I don't know how long this video is right now. About 17 minutes. So if you enjoyed, feel free to hit that like button. Check out some of my other videos if it's helped you out. Have it helped you out at all? Also, feel free to subscribe. I post gaming videos, gaming content. If you're new to my channel, I'd really appreciate some support, some watching some other vids. But if not, that's cool. And I thank you for watching and hanging out with me. Good luck, guys. Peace.
With the homies, try to teach them things, teach them how to make a piece of change, even keep the change, but they never change. What a set of change with another change.